Hi, Trey from Lost State Studios here. Today, in this video, I snagged online these headphones. You might have heard of them. They are the Slate VSX headphones. This is not a sponsored video. I literally have been spending so much time in this little studio that I have, trying to put some sound panels. This closet thing I have here, there's a wall here, it's just a nightmare. So I decided, hey, I've seen these around. I was skeptical. Let's try them out. I've read so much stuff about them, about how they might be some of the best. They use the binaural audio to kind of mimic studios. They had a sale where it was the normal version. There's a premium that just comes with a bunch of rooms. This normal version, it came with 2 free rooms or something. I don't need that many rooms. I'm not a big time audio engineer doing huge albums. So not that you need that to be a real engineer. But anyway, so I snagged this and try to set it up and figure out what we can do with it and see what we can do and see what I think about it. And I've seen mixed reviews, so let's figure out if we like or figure out if we don't like it. Let's see. Let's open it up. Let's check it out. Let's see what we have here. Give you a little rundown of what it looks like. They look really nice. All right, let's check it out. Oh wow, box looks nice. About the box. Here's this. Check it out. Plastic, just plastic everywhere. Always plastic. I mean, the headphones are plastic. So much plastic. Wrap it in plastic. All right, redemption. So I'm not showing you the redemptions. Although you couldn't do anything with it. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Do not discard. Okay, don't discard this. Oh, we got a cool little sticker. Oh, there's a case too. There's also a case. Comes with a case. So I will say, out the box, it's a nice box. It's a nice box. Don't get me wrong. Don't need the box though. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll store some right now. Okay, so first opinions. Camera. They're pretty nice. I remember looking up some info about these, where the first kind of line of them, the earmuffs were falling apart or something like that, or they weren't very great. And then they started fixing it immediately when people told them, hey, this is an issue. They took it seriously, and they were immediately just started redoing it and fixing it. So I have a lot of respect for that. Overall, some people online will be like, oh, they're so heavy. They're so heavy and sturdy. And I'm like, they are sturdy headphones. I mean, these aren't any sturdier than, say, my Razer headphones, Kraken headphones. They're good though. I mean, they're not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying some videos people will hype up and be like, oh dude, they're so nice they are, and they're so sturdy. It's all marketing tactics to sell a product, right? I love Steven Slate. I use the Trigger. I use Steven Slate drums. I've had a great time with their products. I think he's cool. But overall, there's nothing extremely outstanding about the build on these, but they're not bad. So, I mean, take that as you will. But I do like them. Let's check them out. I have earrings on. I don't know if you have plugs or earrings. Might be an issue. I just take them off if they're annoying. So let's see. You can always tell they're good headphones by if they put the markings if they're left and right. So I'm gonna put them on. We're gonna check what they feel like with I'm gonna see what they feel like with my plugs on. I'll be honest, not bad. They fit nice. They're soft. They feel great. They honestly feel amazing. I could wear these for quite a while. I did see some reports of people saying that they didn't like wearing them for a super long time. They start getting sore or fatiguing, the actual ear. I don't think I would have an issue, but it might be a problem for some people if you have sensitive ears. I got big dumb caveman ears, and I would wear headphones for a whole day and it doesn't bother me. So if that's something that might bother you, you might need to look more into like the comfort level of them. But for the sake of this, even with my plugs, like my little hangers, they feel great. I don't even have to take them off, to be honest. So, but yeah, overall, these are the, I gotta stop saying all the time. It's just a filler word, right? I'm trying to think. I don't shoot these videos with a script. I just off the cuff. That's who I am. I have ADHD. You know, I'm not someone who's just gonna do a cookie cutter thing. I'm messy. I'm sloppy. That's me. If you don't like it, I'm just kidding. No, if you love it, stick around. Subscribe. Also, don't forget to subscribe. So yeah. So here's the headphones. One last shot. Check them out. Look good. Look good. Do they look good? Do they look good? Brand new $300 headphones. I'm like, woo! You know, whatever. They're just headphones. So let's go ahead and check out the Slate VSX headphones and see how they sound.
Dude, I hope I don't get baited by this Instagram post just to find out these are a hunk of shit, but I guess I'll have to see.
Okay, so here's the plugin. I got it pulled up. This is the standalone plugin that you can install to actually implement the VSX like system wide. If you were going to use it for anything else besides mixing, like say in a DAW, I would usually probably just put this in Pro Tools on like the master bus, and then I would be able to use that to listen back to the rooms and stuff. I guess you could technically just put it on the full system and then just mix with the headphones. I guess you don't have to do it in the DAW, but you can if you like. It's an option. But for the most part, I pulled this up just to show you. My little window is just blocking the level of the volume. And there's like a little output thing like right here. So you don't have to see it. But so for example, we'll start with this. This is from a band called God Complex. They're like a British deathcore metal band. I've been jamming them lately. They're very awesome. Check them out. We're just going to play one of their tracks and then I'll go through the different rooms just to show you. You will kind of hear, if you wear headphones, you'll kind of hear like what it would sound like because it's going through the system I have. So it's going through my interface out my monitoring system, but it's pulling from the output of the monitoring. So I'm listening to the input on the headphone jack of my interface, but it will come out of my speakers. So you'll be able to hear it kind of mimicking what I'm hearing, but to get the full effect, you'd have to have the headphones on and you'd have to have the software and everything. But for a little demo, I think it works fine enough just to kind of like hear a little bit. So if you do have headphones, now would be the time to put them on to kind of mimic what you're going to hear. I would say that AirPods would be the closest thing because they do have a binaural kind of system for like, you know, the surround sound kind of stuff like that. They got that Dolby, you know, like through Apple Music, you could do like Dolby audio, whatever. So it's like, oh wow, you move your head and like the singer's like over here and then like, whoa, it's cool. I don't know. It's kind of annoying. I turn that shit off. But for this makes sense to like mimic rooms that you're in as far as studios. This is Steven Slate's studio in this little video. I kind of blew up the plugin just to take up the whole frame. So it's a little stretched, but like whatever. So for example, let's just do, here's all the rooms. I don't have the full package. There's like, you know, you can get the other ones. I don't need that many. I don't think I need that many. I'm going to save $200 because it did come with a couple extra for this deal they have. I don't know if it's still going on now, but they did have a deal where it came with 2 extra rooms, the Yellow Matter Studios and the NRG, I think. So let's start with Steven's studio, and we're going to go with the midfield monitors. And I'm just going to play back this song from God Complex. So then you have the far field, which the far field monitors, which are the big ones in the photo. So you're going to obviously get more bass response because they're farther away, the bass signals. Yeah, well, I mean, the bigger drivers can push bass frequencies a little more. So you will get a lot more of low end. So these kind of like references are awesome because you can switch between the little mono or the mix cube. They can switch between some like mid-size monitors, then some bigger ones. I think this is an awesome example of like using this to gauge obviously different rooms and to gauge what it's going to sound like on different systems. I think I like I said, I went into this reading a lot of reviews. Some people are like, oh, it's kind of hype or whatever. Some people said it's really cool. I think the main thing for me specifically is having a really flat frequency response with these headphones using this software to where when I'm mixing on these, I can mimic like a room, you know, and get some cool sounds. But I want to have like a really flat response and be able to get really solid mixes, because this room I have is just like super wonky. It's not the best. It's a little like I got a closet here and then I put some like rock wool and I'm trying to bass trap it, but it's just like shit is going everywhere. It's really silly. So it's not like the best acoustic space. I tried my best. Didn't get it to be solid yet. I'm going to just swap around and I'll chop it up and you'll just see I'll be swapping around to different speakers on different rooms. So I'm going to go through them right now so you can just watch for a little bit. So this is what it's supposed to sound like in a car. One thing I find kind of crazy is this setting for the 4.0 club. I will be honest, this is pretty wild. It does kind of sound like you're in a club. I think hip hop is a little better at like kind of seeing what that vibe is, but like for the sake of it, this is fine. But here, check this out. So obviously, like I said, you have to have these headphones to kind of get the full emulation of it. But for the sake of like, it should be playing kind of similar out into like what you're hearing right now. You should be able to hear like kind of like a mock version of what I'm hearing. So that's pretty crazy. And there's also like these headphones. This is like their HD linear, just kind of good flat. And then this is based off of Bayer Dynamic. These headphones are like awesome. Like this is a very nice, like they just sound really good on these versions. The Bayer Dynamic's a little different though. A lot higher treble on the 250 ohms. Like a little bit more higher end, or not high end, high end. This is what it sounds like with AirPods, apparently. It sounds similar to like what I hear on AirPods. Back to the club. It's so wild. It is crazy because like I'll be sitting here and I'll forget, and for a bit it just does sound like I'm listening. Like if I really get out of my head and just think, it does sound like I'm listening to speakers in front of me, and then I go, oh yeah, it's on headphones. Like it kind of messes with your brain in a weird way, but like it's cool though. There's also this right here, it's got this whole EQ setup where you go through a couple screens, and a lot of screens actually, and it does like a test, and you have to find frequencies, and it goes through different frequency bands where you have to kind of listen to each one. You have to adjust everything to where it's all the same volume, and by doing that, apparently it's like gauging the size of your ear canal, so you can actually get a little bit like better representation of like what your ear canal is and actually how you're hearing it, to where it should be more accurate, which I set it up, and you can adjust the amount of like EQ correction, I guess. I think I have it set about 30. I think it sounded good. The farther I pushed it up, the more like muffling, like it just started cutting a lot of the high end off. Yeah, this, I don't know exactly what it's doing to do that. I'd have to look more into it, but I think it did make it a little bit better fitted to like my ears. So that's cool. And then they do have some presets where you could do your own, or you can do different profiles to like gauge. And then I have my own. But yeah, so yeah, and then like it makes you go through the steps. Yeah, over here you got different little patches where you can, I guess, save different rooms or settings, I guess, that you like. You just hit that and go straight to it. This is right here, you can actually do a level match bypass. So if you're listening in a room, right, and then you undo it or something, sometimes depending on the levels, it's like, please don't play anything while you're turning it on or off, because you might have it really loud, but you're attenuating it. So it's nice to like try to match what you're listening to, and using the knob to like sit there and actually adjust the levels so that you're not turning it off and blowing your ears out, or blowing speakers. Not speakers, I mean you're using headphones, but you might, yeah. And then the depth, low and full, I guess just the level of depth for the binaural like audio sphere of things. I kind of push it up a little bit just for funsies. I think it's awesome. I don't think this is for everybody. I think this is important for people that have really bad spaces acoustically that are not treated, or like, I think this is good for bedroom producers overall. I think this is a useful tool. But yeah, I used this to mix a song the other day. I was working on with a friend. We were sitting here, and I put them on after kind of doing a quick mix, and then mixing with these going back. I already could tell a lot of my leveling was a lot better as far as like what I was hearing, because of, you know, like I have a huge 100 hertz null in my room because of the bass frequencies. Even with doing treatment and stuff, it's just like I gotta do some stuff to treat it, but I also just like, it's just too much work to put into this little room. So for now, I'm like, you know what, I'll just use these headphones to do some mixing and mix my own stuff that I'm working on. You know, I think these are great for anybody that, you know, like, it was like $300. I got it for $300. Came with 2 extra rooms. If you want, you could buy each room different. You know, you could buy them. They're like $20-$30 a pop. I don't need that many, like I said, but, you know, if you want the full package, and, you know, it's nice to have all of it, but for me, this is enough. I think it's a great starting point into getting better mixes. This is not a sponsored video. I just do like Steven Slate plugins, products. I already own the Trigger, and I have Steven Slate drums that I use. They're great, fantastic. Love them, great sounding. Yeah, check it out. Check it out for yourself. See if you like it. Yeah, and that's it. But yeah, these headphones are pretty cool. I think overall, my final statement, Steven Slate is doing something pretty cool here. I think built well. You know, it's not built like a tank, but you know, they're headphones. What do you expect? They're very comfortable. The binaural audio room modeling thing is pretty cool. I think it's worth a $300 investment, or $500. Do you need that many rooms? I mean, maybe. I'm not knocking it. I just, you know, a handful of rooms is enough for me. Different setups. Yeah, check them out. Steven Slate. VSX headphones forever. No, I'm just kidding. That's Anthony Fantano's thing. Yeah, go ahead and check out the VSX. If you have them, comment below. Let me know what you think. But yeah, anyways, make sure to subscribe down here. Look out for the next video that we're going to do. Also, I got live streams I do most of the week. Pop in, come check it out, hang out. Catch you next time, all right? You have a great night. Well, I guess it worked out in the end. These turned out to be pretty cool and not a waste of $300.